The number one cause of chronic health issues in America today is stress. And in particular, it's not just stress. Stress can be a good thing, but it's chronic stress. It's the continual stimulation of what's called the sympathetic fight or flight stress response in our nervous system. So in this video, I want to break down, number one, what stress is. Number two, what types of stress we can talk about in our lifestyle. And it's more than what you would just think. It's not just emotional stress like we typically relate it to. And ultimately, number three is what can we do about it? How can we measure stress and what can we do to improve upon how our body adapts to stress? When we talk about stress, the nervous system is really an on or off switch. It's not a, well, I'm kind of stressed or I'm a little bit stressed. It's either you're either in stress mode or you're not. Now, the nervous system has two different modes that it can be in. It has what's called fight or flight. I'm sure most of you are familiar with that term, or the nerdy term for that is sympathetic mode. That's our stress response. And the other mode that our nervous system can be on is called parasympathetic, or rest, digest, and relax mode. Now, like I said, your nervous system can't be in both at the same time. It's much like driving a vehicle. You can't have your foot on the gas pedal and the brake pedal at once, otherwise the engine's going to blow up. You're either on the gas pedal or you're on the brake pedal. And the key to life, and one of the biggest factors in overall health in the world today, is maintaining a good balance within our nervous system. Now, what would cause our nervous system to shift into stress mode more or shift into rest mode more than it should be? The first is physical stress. So that is posture. That could be macro stress like a car accident or slipping and falling or playing sports and being in collisions over and over, repetitive trauma like that. That is a physical type of stress on our body that can shift our nervous system into a state of fight or flight. The second type of stress would be emotional stress. Now, this is the one that we most commonly relate to when we talk about stress. Stress at work, stress with relationships, financial stress. Those are all things that can cause our nervous system to be shifted into fight or flight, and everybody knows about that one. The third one is chemical stress. Anything that we put in our body that is not organic is essentially a chemical stressor on our body, whether it's fragrances, processed foods, pesticides, preservatives, deodorants, seed oils, red dyes, yellow dyes, all these different things. Those are stressors on our body that's going to shift our nervous system into fight or flight the same way that it would if we were in a car accident or if we were in a stressful relationship at the time. Our nervous system doesn't know the difference between what type of stress we're dealing with. It just knows that we're stressed. The fourth thing, and this is the one that's a little bit newer, and that is digital stress. So we got cell phones, we got white lights all the time in our face, we got iPads, we got computers, we got Wi-Fi, we got 5G. We don't really know to this point how that stuff, there's some studies and research on how Wi-Fi radiation and cell phone radiation, all that stuff can affect our body and our cells. However, everybody is in it. And, even 20, 30 years ago, nobody was under the stress of Wi-Fi radiation or cell phone radiation. So it's not very well tested or well researched at this point, but that is a stressor on our body. And to what extent, we just don't know how it affects us quite yet, but it is a stress. So we got those four stressors: physical stress, chemical stress, emotional stress, and technology stress. And all of those things, the more we encounter throughout our daily life, the more it tends to shift our nervous system into chronic sympathetic overdrive. And when our nervous system is shifted and spending more time in fight or flight stress mode, guess what we're not able to do very effectively? Rest, digest, relax. So all these health conditions that many people suffer from, whether it's inflammation, whether it's digestive issues, whether it's mental health issues, trouble sleeping, anxiety, or ADHD, or immune issues, all of those things have a root in chronic sympathetic fight or flight stress dominance, because our nervous system is physiologically thinking that we are fighting or flighting, even though we're trying to go to sleep, or even though we're trying to relax and recover from a workout, or we're trying to digest food, or our immune system is trying to fight off a virus or a bacteria. If our nervous system is in fight or flight mode, you can't be effectively doing rest, digest, relax, grow, heal, and recover like our bodies are designed to. Now, the last and final thing I want to talk about is what can you do about this? How can you engage and balance your nervous system? Well, the number one thing is neurologically focused chiropractic care. And we have technology in our office called Insight Scans, where we can measure how your nervous system is handling the stresses of life. And if we find that your nervous system is shifted into stress dominance, if your musculoskeletal system is tense and stressed, if your nervous system is inflamed and irritated, we can find that and measure that with these scans. And once we see how our nervous system is adapting and handling stress, we can stimulate and balance the central nervous system through chiropractic care. That is the main goal of chiropractic care, is balancing the nervous system. Secondly, there's all kinds of different things that you can do to remove those stressors from your life. Number one, there's dietary changes you can make. There is meditation, prayer, cold plunges, breathing exercises. All of these things that I just mentioned are going to help balance in the nervous system as well. It just takes consistency. You can't expect your nervous system to balance after doing it once or twice when we are going right back into the fire and in putting our nervous systems into chronic stress in the crazy lives that we live today. So after all of that, what we just talked about, the balancing the nervous system, how we can measure that, things that you can do to improve the nervous system, none of this matters unless you take action.